Hello everyone, happy new month. Welcome to the second half of 2023. Wow, we thank God because we are alive. We are alive by His mercies. So you are welcome. Welcome to the second half of the year. I'm celebrating the fact that God is faithful, and therefore I just want to give an explanation on this turban. Maybe because of the you might just see the gathering and all of that, the look. Some persons who are beginners might have some challenges trying to know what to do. So I don't know if you can hear me because I have my mic on. I actually want to believe that you can hear me. All right. So I just want to talk about this turban, how to achieve it, how it's quite easy. So let me just start. So I'll keep this aside and then we'll talk about all the materials we need and all the measurements for the materials that we need. By the way, this fabric I have is a damask fabric. It's a damask fabric. So the measurement here, this is what I'm going to use for the body of the turban, and it is 35 by 35. I made it 35 because I want enough wideness. I want it to be wide enough, so that's why I made it 35. And then so that I can no, please, you are shaking what I'm doing. And then so that I can get enough of my work, the flow of the wave. So I also have 35 for my length. So this is for the body. And then after working, we are going to have some rough edges on it. So because of that, we are going to need this to cover. And this is 35 by 14. 35 by 14. Can you hear me, please? Indicate, please. So this is 35 by 14. It's going to cover the rough work. And then this is my base. So apart from the base, I will also have belt. So this is my base, because when you are making a turban to be a free wear, you have to make sure that the back is opened and then there is room for you to fix the belt. So this is for the base, and then the measurement for the base, normally if I'm going to make a cross base, my measurement is usually 17. That is the length, and then the wideness can be 7 by 17. So we have like this, and we put it like this. So this is for the base. Then this one is smaller. I just made it like that. So this is 4 by 17. All right. Then I have another 4 by 17. So this is for the base. And then we are going to cut this to create the handle. All right. So let's go into the main um, business, which is achieving the wave. Let me put it close so that those joining us will know what we are working on. You can see the back. All right, so let's just start now. So to start, I'll turn this is the front of the fabric, and this is the back of the fabric. All right, so I'll turn the back out. Turn the back. We are going to work on the back. I just have to put it away because of space. All right, so I'll turn the back out. I can work from this direction. So now there is a part of this turban that we need to enable us attach the turban to the base. So you are going to leave like 2 or 1 inch like this. You are going to leave this part. You are going to leave this part. Please come and stand close to me. Okay, stay there so that you watch what I'm doing. Stay close to me. So don't sit down aside. All right. So we are going to remove this part. When we remove this part, we are not going to work on this part at all. I hope people can see what I'm doing. We are not working on this folded part. Now this thing is a little bit confusing, so please, if you are live with me and you're even watching later, I would like that you focus a little. So this is, we fold here, then we are going to fold here again like this. From now we are folding it, remember when we folded we just did like this. Now we are going to take same fold like this. Don't know if you get what I just did. Eh? You take it like this. Did you see what I did? You take same fold, and then you will take another fold. That fold is what will cause the depth. I'm going to take it very close once I start working on it. So we are going to take another fold like this, like a pleat. I hope you are seeing it. So when we take it like this, please can I get office pen? We'll take it like this. Do you see what I did? So practically it's like I have like 8 folds, like 8. I say 8, I'm sorry. Practically it's like I have three fold. I have 3 fold here. So this first one is not part of this game. This one is not part of this game. But these two here now is part. So we are going to first of all secure the beginning using pin. Secure the midpoint. It's just to guide you. It's just for the purpose of guiding, so that you know what you are doing and you don't miss your line. Hold on. So we have this secured. Now we want to do the main business. I need thread. Needle and thread. So we are going to be using needle and thread to work on it. When we are working on it with needle and thread, we are going to be doing some styles along it. It's not just going to be a straight work. So because of that, I would like to see if I can zoom and then, all right. I hope you can see it clearly. Hello to everyone. Can I know where you are watching me from? If you don't mind, just tell me. I'm watching from Lagos. I'm watching from here. I just want to have a little bit of communication from you. So we have it joined. You see? You see? So we are going to start with our needle and thread. So straight up, we start like this from the end. Secure it. You cannot use sewing machine to achieve this body pleat. It is actually a body pleat, but you cannot achieve it with sewing machine. All right. So we go ahead. We are going to decide our distance. So you are going to say, maybe I want to move with 2 inches. I want to move with 3 inches. It actually depends on how close you want your pleat, your curve to follow you. All right. So my distance, this is the distance I'm using, but let me just show it to you, so that, all right. So I think I want to move with 3 inches. I moved with 3 inches. Off this one, is waving the camera. Off the fan, look at it there. All right. Off the fan, please. So now we are going to use 3 inches to move. We are moving with 3 inches. All right. So from here to 3 inches, I will take it like this. Eh? When I take it like this, I will pull it a little. Pull, like drag. When you pull, it's going to create a wave. So I'll pull it small like this. So from the back, this is what it will look like. So we will tack it. Hmm? It's easy, but takes a little bit of time. So continue with the same distance. I'm just using my eye. All right. So we're going to pull a little, not too much, because that's why we made it 35. That's why we made it 35. And the thread I'm using is very thick, 8. So is on a fold is 8. So don't do anything that is not thick. It will not help you, because that's what. So you can see we pull a little. Please, are you seeing what I am doing? We pull a little, we sew it, we come same measurement, drag the thread. That's the only way it will give it the wave. Assuming you don't want a wave on it, then you don't need to pull, all right? But the wave for this particular design, the wave is the style. So as I pull, I just have to ensure that I still have enough length here that I will use for the front, all right? Because the turban is going to be like a freestyle turban. It's supposed to be able to fit into anybody's head. So that's why. So we just continue like this. Mm. Just try and make sure that your distance is a little bit constant, because if I say let it be the same, it might not, because we are not, me, I'm not measuring. But if you have the time, you can measure. I don't want to waste your time. All right. So one other thing to take note of is the fact that you have to cut it at every ending. Anyway, that one is optional. You can decide to cut, you can decide not to cut. It's your choice. So we have the first line ready. So let's see how it looks behind. So it's going to look like this. So this is what we are going to continue until, can I get scissors? Until we are through. So now the second part can be done in two ways. We can do it in two ways. One, we can take this next fold like this, and then you don't need to take a second fold. Just attach it to the body of this and continue, and you will still have your fold. But then I like to have mine like this, so it will have a distance. So we take the next fold and a constant depth. That is, the depth now has to do with the distance between the two fold, all right? So this is the depth. I try to secure first before I go ahead. And your fabric has to be a sort of thick, a fabric that can stand on its own, so that you don't just use any fabric, any fabric that can stand on its own. Then assuming you are going to work with a fabric that cannot stand on its own, then you will need to add um, chest wording. You will need to add chest wording to it. So we have guided this. We are going to start pulling the same way we did for the first one. So once we are done with that, we just finish one part of the work. Then we'll go ahead and join it, right? So using almost the same distance, since I'm not measuring, we'll pull again. The first pull is already helping me, right? So the first pull is helping me already. So we continue. It's not compulsory you have the depth I have, because if you look at the back now, you see the fold is already coming out. So it's not really compulsory you have the depth I have. You can make it smaller, right? So we continue. Happy new month once again to every one of you joining me live today, this first day of the month of July. I celebrate God's faithfulness in your life, God's faithfulness in my life. All right. It's not everybody that started this year that are still alive today, but by the mercies of God, me and you, we are here. It's enough to thank God. Can I get another needle, please? So we are starting the month of July hot, hot. Because very soon we'll get to the festive period. We need to do things that are unique. All right, things that are uniquely unique. So that's it. Hot, hot. Your tray there. You always give me challenge. Can you imagine? How can I work with this? Eh? A woman. All right. So we just continue. You just have to be patient too, because there's no way I'm going to fast forward this one. This is a live video. If it's not a live video, we'll just after the first explanation, I will just fast forward and we are done. So this is a live video. There is no way to fast forward. So we lock and cut. Come back to the beginning, but before I go to the beginning, look at the flow. This is just all we are trying to achieve. We can achieve this without having to pull. If we don't pull, it will just stand straight. If you don't pull, you will not have this wave. It will just stand straight. So it means I'm trying to tell you that you can do it that same way without pulling. You just fold it and sew. Fold it and sew it straight up. So you can fold and sew. You can sew without having to pin. All right. And sew without pinning. Remember, I said don't pull too much. So I'm just doing my own now without having to fold anymore. You see why I started with 35? Because you might just think that, oh, is 35 not too much? After all, we only need 20, 24, all right, and we had 35. It's because of all this pulling. By the time we are done with this pulling, we should still have something reasonable. All right, I still have almost like 28. All right, so with that 28, if you are used to my tutorials, I always work with 28. I reduce from the 28 to what I want, but my normal length of starting with any fabric is 28. Either I'm doing body pleat and all of that is 28. So I prefer to have excessive one where I can decide the exact wideness I want to use, rather than having to manage and it's not able to fit into the head of my client. So I always work with 28. Whether I'm doing body pleat or not, I'm doing 28. The only time I don't work with 28 is when I'm just doing a straight turban that I don't need any design on. Then that is a plain cover from the back. I'll just do 15. Then it can be 15 by 28. So we're almost through, right? Even in the max, both the back and front is usually beautiful. Even this one now, this part I'm using at the back, as the back can be treated as the front as well. Will soon be through. Just have like two to go. Right, so all right. So we're starting. We'll soon finish. Just a little patience. This video is not taking long. I just want to drop this one before I continue with the day's job, since I didn't get to my shop in time this morning. All right. You can pull it closer. So that's why you see that I try to take it closer as I walk. So again, like I said, your distance mustn't be this big. This is a live video, so I'm trying to see how fast I can be. Let me not burn your data and all of that. So sometimes I do this and I'm very, very close with the work. So the flow is closer than what we are going to have with this. So it's just for you to get the idea. Just for you to get the idea. So you can see why I have to cut an extra fabric. The one I told you is 15 by 35. You can see why I have to cut it. Can you do a work and leave the thread like this? It's not possible. So for every work that you are going to do, you cannot leave the thread like this. So since you cannot leave the thread like this, you have to find a way that you can cover it. That's just it. So you have to find a way to cover. So that's why we have to get that. Even apart from that, any turban I'm doing, I have double cover. I just like to have, that good finishing look. I don't even like for my turban to be too light. Mm. Don't like to have a turban that is too light. So because of that, I always try as much as possible to double my turban. So I don't know how to manage fabric in production. I just want the best. That's the only language I hear. I just want the best. All right. We have just the last leg to go. We have the last leg to go. One more thing that you must check for is you have to check for the width. At least 12 should be okay. So by now, I still have about 15. So we can still fold this. So we don't need to double fold this anymore. Let's just attach this to the body of the already existing line, because if we double fold it might make it smaller than we want, right? So I just working with the existing one, not double fold. Try and stay tuned, try and stay connected so that you see it to the end. I will go about the base, I will go about the belt. I would like that you stay tuned. If you are part of those training with creative hands, by now you should know how my work goes. All right. So we have thread everywhere. We have to cover up this thread, and the thread also has to be thick. Why is it thick? It helps to protect these waves, all right, so that it will not just give way at any little stress. Maybe after usage your client wants to wash, and after washing you just find out that all the wave she loves about the turban is gone. So we don't want that to happen. So that's why we have to ensure that this thread is thick. So we are done. We are done. We are done with this. So I don't know if you can see what we have. So my waves are very big, because I was actually hurrying up to see how fast I can be with it, so that I don't waste too much of your time. So we have the part we are going to use to fix it here. So apart from that, I really like to know my length. So my length is still okay, still within range. I have like 27. So give me the things I cut there so that I can explain this part. So we are going to have this to cover. this. We are going to cover this with that. So when we cover, it's going to help us to cover this thread. So this is going to be here to cover the thread. And apart from the fact that it will cover the thread, it will give additional weight to the look of the turban. To give additional weight. And then another thing is we are also going to add our belt. So how do we do this? We start by putting this like this. When we put it like this, we allow the right side to be facing up, the right side. Then we take our base. I have four of it prepared, and it's good that at least you know the midpoint of this fabric. All right, so let's just notch, give it a little notch so that we can identify it at any point. So we have it like this. So we're going to have this facing me. Please don't place it like this. You will be wrong when you place it like this. So you have to place it like this, facing yourself. You can see my own is facing me. So I have the second one, crossing on the first one like this. Then you have to allow some part of it out so that you don't have it coming out while you are sewing. All right, so we have this now. It can be concentrated, that is, you can have it on each other before placing the next two, or you can just have it the way I'm doing it now. Okay, all right, so we have it like this, and then we have the last one. I'm supposed to iron it now. I have the last one like this. All right, so at this point I would like to just use the big needle to hold it down. So it's all right, it's all set like this. So we have it like this now. So it's time for us to bring the top. So you have to ensure that both ends are meeting at a point. They are aligned, so that when you are sewing you don't miss out any of the sewing. So if I'm moving this here and I'm having this excess, it means when I'm sewing I'll sew on top of this. So usually it is better when you sew on top of your top base. So we are now going to have this. To place this, we are going to use the right side to face this one. So we'll put the right side facing right side like this. All right, place it like this. Let me use this side. So we'll place it like this so that we have it flowing this direction. So I'm going to use pin. I'm going to use pin. Can I get office pin? So again, you have to move it close so that your then I'm sorry. So this one is here now. Then we're going to start to pin it. This is how we are going to sew it, all right? But I just want to show you pinning it down, turn it over so that maybe you understand it better before I just take it to the sewing machine and run it through. So you can see that the one that we already prepared now is already shorter than the other one. The only reason it's shorter is not because I did not cut same length at the beginning. It's because the wave that we created with the thread has successfully reduced the length of this particular one. So hence it's shorter than the one under it. But while we are sewing, we are just going to take it to the place where we have where the length of the designed one end. All right, we don't need the excess from that side, but you don't need to cut it now. You just allow it lie. So we push this, push it out, push it out, push it out like this. Then place this. so that you don't have it disturbing you. All right, coming also be true. Even if I did not go and sew, I think with this explanation, you should be able to make your own. Maybe I will not even show the sewing. But if you want me to show it, you can tell me. I say, please, ma, show the sewing. Then I'll just go ahead. It will not take me anything to do that. Alright. But if you are okay with the illustration, I think I'm okay too. So there's one more thing I'm supposed to explain. Let me just explain it. So now that we have it pinned like this, let's turn it. So this is how it will be when we turn. When you turn, you have the wavy part, you have this part, carry it like this. You see that the front of this is what you are seeing, and then this is the wavy part, all right, like this. So everywhere is neat. Then at this point, we'll fold it like this. Now this is the part I want to explain, so please, if you are still online, just hold on. So this part, we are not supposed to pin everything, that is sew everything. You are supposed to let a part of this base out, a part of this side out. So now please stay with me. I'm just going to use the illustration and conclude. So normally, you know that the length for head is usually like 10.5. The length for the head is 10.5. All right, that is if the fabric is a stretchy one. But when the fabric is not a stretchy one, then the length for the head has to be opened. All right. So now, but we still work with it. So what I will do is that I will use like 9. So at 9 means I have 18. At 9 means I have 18 from here to here. And the total size of the head is 22. So if I have 18, it means that I have 4 left. So from this point here, now can I get shock? I want to mark so that they will understand. I'm not going to sew it. So from this place, oh, the shock is not going to show on this side. What about the blue one? So from this place where I marked, we are going to remove the pin. Let me have the blue one here. Yeah, I can manage this. So, all right. So now you can see where I marked. So from this point, we are going to remove the pin from this point. Remember, I have not sewn it. If you are going to sew, you must consider what I just explained now before you sew. So when you remove the pin, you are going to have here out as you are sewing. You will have here out as you sew. You have this place out. So this place that you have out, it means then that this place, this two that is supposed to meet together with this will be left alone. But now you will push this place out and give a running stitches to this place. You give a running stitches to this place. So that's why I'm pinning it for you to see, so that you will understand when I explain. So what I'm doing now will happen to both sides, So when you do the running stitches, this place will come out very neat like this. Do you see it? It will come out very neat. And then why this place is out. So when you do it to this place and you do it to this place, you end up having this neat look. This neat look is the backdrop. This is the backdrop, this place. So this place is for the bed. So you take an extra fabric, cut out this one, throw it away, and then you put this on this place, wrap it, and sew. So they are going to use this to tie on both sides, while this place is freely open to fit into the head without any form of obstacle. So if I am creating my back opening, I take my measurement from here to this place at least 13.5, so that if the person is carrying braid or big, something that is big, that is supposed to like be difficult to fit in, it can fit in easily since the fabric is not a stretchy one. So I take a measurement of 13.5 or 13, then use it to close. You close it like this to the end. Then why this part now will be the part that will make it fitted at the front. So since I am done with that explanation, I will use this for the final illustration so that you will get the explanation clearer. So since this one is already prepared, so now this is what I'm saying. So if you look at this, we have the bed here. We have the bed here. Then we have the back opening. Did you see the distance? And it's neat, it's not rough. It's not like you just create a back opening and your thread is pulling from this point. You cannot do that. So it's neat. So this is the back opening and this is the belt. You can see the distance between the back opening and the belt. This is what allows it to fit into the head. Not only fit into the head, it also allows it to drop at the back, fall at the back like this. Eh? And then, and what more? So the inside now, you see, you are not seeing any thread of the sewing and all of that. The inside is very neat. And then you weave. And now, lastly, for this particular design, what I did was that I used thread, needle and thread, to pull it together to the end, pull it together and sew. I did the same thing at this back here, use needle and thread, pull it together and sew. So that was what actually gathered for me um all the pleats. All right, that was what actually gathered all the pleats for me and make it look like this. So now I am done with this illustration like I've showed you before, but I'm still just going to show you what I mean. You just fit it in like this. You have this part. It cannot be fitted to the head without you having to tie. So we just go ahead. You can see the base, how smooth the base is coming out. It can be a V front like this. You might not use a V front. So you see the back opening. All you need to do is tie it here. All this style works for this method I've just explained to you, work for all fabric that is non-stretchy, all fabric that is not a stretchy fabric. So we tie it to fit, and at the end we just have this, tuck it in into this part like this. If you like, you can pin, but you can see the back drop. So this is the drop, you see. So this is just all I'm trying to explain. I do hope you enjoyed this class. All right, I welcome you to the second half of the year. This is the half of Bedu celebration things. So we are going to be having very much, so much work to do by the grace of God Almighty. I pray for every one of us that our businesses will soar higher grounds in Jesus' name. Okay, so bye. I'm done with today's class. Do have a nice day. I'll see you in my next class. I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.